So we're finally getting some insight into the U.A.P. UFO related portions of the new Defense Authorization Act. So this is really exciting. We might finally see the shape of the new UFO program, as well as the whistleblower protection information. Because that could potentially be massively important to the UFO community and to disclosure as a whole going forward. So let's spend a few minutes going over this. This is Jack Connor with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like. Please subscribe, share on social media, and comment below as I'm going through this story. You might also consider becoming a channel member to support the channel. See the first line in the description below. Channel members receive exclusive access in videos. You can also simply leave a tip in the tip jar with the Super Thanks feature, or there's a fun way you can support the channel by buying one of my books. I write fantasy and science fiction. You can find me on Amazon. There's one of my books right behind me. Okay, let's go forward. General revisions pertaining to the Pentagon UAP Office, AARO, and its operations, and AARO conducted historical record report on government involvement in UAP. This is from Dean Johnson, by the way. Many people will be familiar with him. I will link to this page. These sections, which are found on those pages of Rule Committee Print 1/1770, make multiple changes in the groundbreaking UAP law that was enacted on December 27th, 2021. This rewrite originated in an amendment offered by Senator Roy Blunt at the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, closed for voting session on June 22, 2022. Again, those unfamiliar with the December law, blah, blah, blah. In essence, the changes contained in this bill are enhancements and refinements intended to further the purposes of the 2021 law. Dean Johnson says, I do not see provisions diluting any key provision of that law. The SSCI approved bill had contained a proposed definitional change to exclude from the scope of the phenomena being investigated temporary non-attributed objects or those that are positive identified as man-made. This language generated sharply conflicting interpretations among commentators over the past 6 months. Whatever it was intended to mean, it has been dropped from the final bill. Well, that's too bad. I mean, that's really a shame, because that was disclosure, pretty much, with a capital D right there, if that language had been left in there. So I can understand why they left it out, because that would have been disclosure, saying this new office would only look at non-man-made objects. If they had left that in there, that would have been huge, and I was really hoping they would leave that in there. Like I say, that would have been disclosure. So it's really a bummer. That's really too bad. But, you know, I guess you got to mosey on. Let's see. So the bill does change the statutory catch-all term. Oh, and this is interesting. It does change the catch-all term for the phenomena being targeted from unidentified aerial phenomena to unidentified anomalous phenomena. So they still get to keep the UAP, but they've changed the A to anomalous, which I like a lot better. I think that is obviously much more accurate. It is anomalous, first of all, and it's not just in the air. It's just all over the freaking place. So, yeah. So that's really interesting. It's defined in the same manner as the 2021 law to include airborne objects that are not immediately identifiable, transmedium objects or devices, in submerged objects or devices that are not immediately identifiable and that display behavior or performance characteristics suggesting that the objects or devices may be related to A. Okay. The term transmedium objects or devices is defined to mean those that are observed to transition between space and the atmosphere and bodies of water and are not immediately identifiable. Now, to me, they're missing a big part of that, and that's also the land. They come and go from volcanoes. That's often reported. I think I saw one entering the ground once. It was very quick. I'm not sure about that because it happened so quickly. I've only seen one UFO or series of UFOs in one night that I know for sure was a UFO, and that just happened a few weeks ago. But about a year before then, I did see what I think was probably a UFO. It was so fast, it's hard for me to tell for sure, but it went right into the ground. I mean, there wasn't even a hole or anything. It just went right smack into the ground. So it just vanished. So, possibly there was some concealed door there that just looked like the ground. Or it's possible they have the capabilities of just traveling through the ground. We know, if you've studied the sea phenomena of this stuff, how they can move insanely fast through the water, faster than our understanding of physics would allow. So, if they can manipulate water in such a way, and if they can manipulate air in such a way, maybe they can manipulate land in that way as well. So anyway, I think they're missing a bit. They shouldn't have limited it to that. They should also have included, terrestrial, something terrestrial should be on there, not just the air and water. The SSCI reported bill mandated a historical study of the involvement of the intelligence community in UAP matters going back to January 1st, 1947 by the Government Accountability Office, which is an arm of Congress. That proposal originated at the June 22nd, 2022 voting meeting of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and a second amendment offered by Senator Roy Blunt. A slightly altered version later was approved by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence in its version of the Intelligence Authorization Act in 2022. That bill never reached the House floor. In those two versions of the proposal, as approved by the two intelligence committees, the mandate for the historical study was placed on the Government Accountability Office, which is an arm of Congress. In the new bill version, however, the responsibility for the historical study and ensuing report is placed with AARO with the GAO to perform only a later audit and congressional briefing functions. The scope of the historical record report has, if anything, been broadened, now to include the historical record of the United States government relating to unidentified anomalous phenomena going back to January 1st, 1945. Well, that's terrific, because we know there were at least two encounters before Roswell, the two crashes before Roswell that we know of. And, if they're going to go back to 45, why not go back to 44? Why not talk about the Foo Fighters? So, why not go back 1900? But whatever, 1945 is awesome. So the report is to include a compilation and itemization of the key historical record of the involvement of the intelligence community with unidentified anomalous phenomena, including any program or activity that was protected by restricted access that has not been explicitly and clearly reported to Congress. Boom! There you go, control group. This bill is all up in your kajigger. Success or unsuccessful efforts to identify and track UAP and any efforts to obfuscate, manipulate public opinion, hide or otherwise provide incorrect or unclassified or classified information about UAP or related activities. Okay, that's huge. So they are going after the control group, they're going after the cover-up, all of that stuff. This is amazing. So, I mean, it's amazing that they're saying they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it because I think the control group, they're dealing with the freaking beings. You know, they're in space. They're doing whatever the hell they're doing. They're taking people out. You know, they're massively powerful. They're massively secretive. They have technologies and abilities that no one else has or can do anything about. So until they're prepared to go forward, or until the beings are prepared to let them go forward or to go public, this, you know, the deeper level stuff isn't going to come out. But the mid-level groups, whatever other programs that may be at that mid-level range, you know, where they just have some craft, they've got some recovered craft and they've been tinkering with them, and maybe they've been getting some stuff to work, and maybe farming some of this technology out. That mid-tier sort of program could come to light with this, and that is huge. That would be ground-shaking and earth-shaking stuff. I mean, all we need is one UFO that scientists can look at and confirm as not being man-made to put a capital D on disclosure and to make this thing official. So this provision right there is huge. Huge, 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 huge. Moving on, the findings of the study are to be presented by AARO to the Congressional Defense Committees. Oh, and it says they're going to keep on calling it AARO, by the way. I don't know how that's going to work exactly, because the reason for the name change to include all the other domains was to force other, to force the Air Force and Space Force, etc., into sharing their data with them. So I'm interested to see where that change of thought came from, because it was going to be AARO, or it had been AARO, then it was going to change to a longer, more cumbersome name to squeeze in those various domains. So anyway, I'm a little curious about that. Dean says, it is not immediately clear to me, simply on reading the revised bill, how much of this report, if any, might be made public, but it seems clear enough that the investigation will have to delve into a good deal of classified material. Yeah, no joke. So really, really interesting, forward progress in the UFO realm. This is huge. This is potentially, the biggest thing ever, really. I mean, as far as changing the world, I mean, really, if this new office is successful in getting to the bottom of this, or at least some version of the bottom of this, like I say, just exposing one of these mid-tier programs where they have some recovered craft and they've been tinkering with them, just exposing that much will transform the world. That will let the entire world know that, hey guys, we're not alone. So, oh, and by the way, they're here. So those are my thoughts on it. I'm very excited about this. This has not been signed into law yet, but this is the official language that is going to hopefully go under the pen soon enough. And we will get this signed into law. And when that happens, I'll be reporting on it then. But let me know what you think. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access in videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.